Hi, welcome to the podcast. I'm Kevin.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Dan.
And today we're talking about articles from the cmuptm.blogspot.com. Our first article is from Gizmodo, written by Attila Nagy, and it's called A Fond Farewell to the Neon Sign. And it's about how neon signs aren't really being made anymore because of developments in technologies and technology and like cheaper ways to, make a giant display. Or maybe not necessarily cheaper, just like more versatile.
Yeah, more versatile, more energy efficient sometimes.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah, like with LEDs, I would assume.
But lots of new signs use like, LED lights, illuminated 3D boxes, and huge colored screens and displays. So like neon signs, the most you can do with one is kind of like animate an arm waving or something. I mean, I'm sure you could do something more complex, but
that's it.
But they're beautiful. I love neon signs, and if it's true that they're going away forever, I'll be kind of sad.
I don't know that they're going forever. Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot around, but are they gonna make them? Are people actually gonna buy them and use them in their stores? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of wondered if there would be. I mean, because I think there are people, at least like me, who think they're really cool, and you just said you think they're cool. Well, Sam, you think they're cool. They're cool. See, Dan thinks they're cool. So, I wonder if there's going to be something of a baby counter movement where people are like, no, I want cool neon signs.
Maybe in Bushwick.
In Bushwick, that's exactly right. Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel, there's enough nostalgia around them.
I do have a friend who I think their primary profession is actually making neon signs.
Really?
Yeah.
There's an amazing storefront in Lower Lawrenceville on Butler Street, down by 45th or something. And it's just this weird little storefront. I've never seen anybody in it, but it just has all these really cool neon signs and sculptures. And every time I walk down that street, I'm terrified there's not going to be there anymore because I've never seen anyone in there, but the lights are just always on.
Yeah.
But it's still there.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of images of neon signs from around the world. The ones in Shanghai I thought were particularly beautiful. And
I liked the Vegas ones.
Yeah, I mean,
they're so kitschy.
The Vegas ones are dope.
Ridiculous.
And it's a nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a slideshow, it's a nostalgic slideshow, and it's also, we're talking about what's replacing neon signs, it's LED screens. You'll never see a slideshow of LED screens because when you want to change that, you just change it. But, you can't really update a neon sign.
Which is kind of great.
Ripping it out, so
yeah,
we're able to have a nostalgic slideshow.
Yeah.
So check that one out. Our next one is Why I Wake Up at 4:22 a.m. by Michael Affronti on LinkedIn.
Not by me.
I loved this one. I thought this was going to be so stupid. I loved it.
Yeah, I was surprised that it had content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this guy, this insanely productive guy. He probably gets more done before he goes to work than most people get done in their entire day. He he wakes up at 4:22 a.m. because he says it's harder to justify staying in bed for 8 minutes than it is to justify staying in bed for 15 minutes or half hour if you wake up on the hour or the quarter hour or the half hour. So he wakes up at this weird time.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets up, he does his chores, he does reading, he does some reading, he peruses his favorite websites. Then he goes to the gym, he's at the gym by 5:15.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes home and cooks breakfast for his wife. And
he plans his day.
then he plans his day.
Yeah.
And then he goes to work by 8:15.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing.
I wish you were my husband.
Although I do want to point out, as amazing as this is, and I do think it's amazing, and I think there's something to be said for discipline and something to be said for waking up in those early hours when, at least for me, when it's unclouded by the events of the day.
Yeah.
He also does say though that he thinks he has the get little sleep gene where he can survive on 5 hours of sleep and feels great. So just for reference, don't feel super bad if you can't get up at 4:22. But yeah, it's amazing getting up.
I wish I could do that. I love the way I feel when I get up early and
Yeah.
get shit done. I think that 4:22 that's a little excessive for me
Yeah.
because I love my sleeps.
Yeah.
But he also says that it's more, he's read studies on this because he knows he has weird sleep habits. And he has read that it's really more about the quality of sleep that you get, like not as much the quantity, although obviously quantity is important. But he says, you know, he does things like he doesn't drink coffee after 2 p.m., he doesn't take any naps during the day, he tries not to eat a lot, like within a few hours of bed. He uses this thing called Flux, which I've seen on your computer, which is, I just downloaded after reading this. It's this app that like makes the screen, your computer screen, like orangey.
It takes out the blue, right?
Yeah, it takes out the blue, so it's
fades
like,
it as it times it to sundown
right.
in your time zone.
Yeah.
And it like changes the color temperature of your screen.
So it's like less harsh on your eyes because that like stimulates your brain activity and keeps you awake.
Throws off your circadian rhythm.
Exactly. And he also like says that he eats a tablespoon of almond butter and drinks a glass of water before bed. And he also uses a sleep mask. I'm gonna try all of these things because I love sleep. And
Honey.
does anybody else have anything to say about this article? I've just been gushing.
I mean,
So fresh.
I like that in addition to outlining his schedule, he also talks about the process of finding that schedule, because I think an important point is that this is not the ideal schedule for everyone.
Right.
You know, not everyone is going to be able to do in 10 minutes what he can do in 10 minutes, and at the same time of day. But if you set small goals, as he says, set small goals and work towards bigger ones, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's, you know, he goes into detail about the process in the article. You know, it's about finding what works for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important point.
Yeah.
So, also it's posted to LinkedIn, so when you checked it, you can see all of the LinkedIn notifications you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, I found a lot.
That was great.
surprised.
Well,
I haven't updated my LinkedIn in years.
Yeah.
So while you're reading about productivity, you can have a little reminder of
How unproductive you've been.
Great.
Perfect.
Moving on. The World Ice Art Championships are a garden of frozen delights. This article appeared on the Creators Project and was written by Emerson Rosenthal. Again, it's really one of those articles you kind of just have to see because it's mostly pictures, but basically, Ice Alaska is this festival of ice art, and it's in its 26th year. And it's an annual carving competition that draws like 45,000 visitors to Fairbanks, Alaska, to see works by over 100 professional ice artists. What do you guys think?
I mean, cool. It's like some kind of cool sculpture. I would say that the craftsmanship is better than maybe the conceptual.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of like deer like nuzzling.
Or like a dragon, you
Yeah.
know. They look awesome. I mean, they look very well made, but it's just kind of like great.
And
Yeah.
also for our lighting designer friends, I think would be a really fun. I mean, if I were a lighting designer, I think it would be so fun to light these sculptures because
Yeah.
ice looks really beautiful under glowing light.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think?
Imagine a production where all of your actors were made out of ice and you could just shine your light right through them.
Imagine that. A better world.
Think about it.
Simpler world.
Ice sculptures, the Snapchat of physical.
One thing that actually was a little tidbit that was interesting was that in to prepare for this, where they have to go through like massive amounts of ice, they harvest giant ice blocks in ponds, especially for the occasion,
Yeah.
which I thought was crazy.
It's a cool image. I mean, I wish that they showed some more process things too, because those are always really interesting to see.
Also, I wish they'd shown them melting. I
Yeah.
would love to see like a time lapse of them all just like.
If they melt, you know, like I don't know.
Fairbanks, Alaska gets warm.
But I don't know.
They said that they were actually having the temperature was right on the threshold
Oh really?
for like while they were making.
Is
That
global
tidbit.
will global warming kill the Ice Alaska Festival?
Could
Let's
be.
find out next week.
Next week.
Anyway,
Because that's how quickly it's happening.
Yep. Next week.
but who cares? On to 3D printing. Beyond this next article is called Beyond Plastic. 3D printers are now printing metal, wood, even electronics, and it's on Motherboard. There's no author as far as I can tell.
Written by Nicole
Oh.
Kobe.
Oh, Nicole Kobe. She was hiding over there.
She's hiding off to the right.
Sorry,
Hiding at the
Nicole.
top of the page.
Sorry, Nicole.
Sorry, girl.
So this one is about Voxel 8's new modular 3D printer. For the low price of $9,000, you can print in a variety of different materials, not just shitty plastic anymore.
Yeah.
What did you guys think?
Printed a quadcopter. that was almost entirely assembled already.
Yeah, they just had to add the little wings, but like yeah, they printed like the electronics within it. That's
Amazing.
crazy.
It's cool to think about mixing materials as you're printing something. Things could be pre-assembled,
Mhm.
or could they could be assembled in your home for you.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. It's also something I hadn't really considered. I mean, I know that like the plastic is a huge limiting factor when you're 3D printing. I hadn't thought that like, of course, it's that we need to develop more materials, not develop better printers or cheaper printers
Right.
first. It was like, well,
It's-
yeah, duh. But like,
yeah.
I hadn't thought of it in those terms. It was like, I hope
Right.
they come up with a better printer. It's like, that's stupid. No.
It's really like like the article says, it's really the innovations in material science that have made this sort of thing possible, like being able to print electronics.
Yeah.
What I think is really interesting about this is the idea that, it just further kind of dematerializes the physical world to the point where like not even like objects that you would buy at a store, you could like in the future like just download from a torrent site like the Pirate Bay and then print out. Like how is that gonna change?
Yeah.
Like I feel like is there gonna be kind of a similar, overhaul in just like manufacturing that there was for the music industry whenever like Napster and like other torrent sites came about. It's kind of crazy to think about that you could like torrent your Blender or
Yeah.
something.
But then it's like, it's also, I wouldn't minimize the fact that you would need the materials to make it. So is it more
Sure.
like cooking? You know what I mean? Is it more like cooking everything in your life?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe.
That's
I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not minimizing like how incredible that would be to like print your Blender. Like that's
I
incredible.
don't know why Blender was
Right.
like my dream.
Baby needs Blender in the future.
Yeah.
I won't have to go to Target 5 minutes away. It's cool. What do you think?
I mean, we've already had people 3D print guns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some of the discussion that's been generated around that has been similar to that. Like, are we heading towards a future where you can torrent weapons? Like, can I download a tank?
Yeah.
Maybe.
What happens
The
then?
answer
Yeah.
is maybe.
It's funny though, because like you wonder if I download a tank, like obviously that has huge, maybe horrifying implications. But it's like, but if I'm crazy now, I could make something insane. You know what I mean? I could make something destructive. So I don't know. Yeah, I wonder how this will change. Also, they talked about you being able to print in maple, like print in wood, and they never explain how. And I'm very confused / curious. How the hell does that work? What is it like extruded? Like what is it?
I don't know.
So
Paste.
yeah, we'll have to look that up and get back to you. They did not tell me what I needed to know.
Well, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a minute with more articles from cmuptm.blogspot.com. I'm Kevin.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Dan.
See you in a minute.
Oh.